listening to the Becoming More Me podcast with me, Theresa Lear Levine. You're already enough. But if you're anything like me, you thrive when you're stretching and developing yourself, creating more of the person you feel called to be. This podcast is here to inspire and support you. Let's release the negative, reinforce the positive, and elevate our vibe together as we tap into our limitless potential to transform and grow.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Oh my goodness, I have had such an amazing, eye-opening, and just inspirational weekend full of new perspectives. And that's really what I wanted to breathe into today because, gosh, it came right when I needed it. I have had several different things kind of line up in the last week or so that have just really opened my eyes to new ways of looking at how I want to do things in my business moving forward. And I thought it might be helpful to share it with my fellow female entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, especially ones like me who are trying to figure it out and carve it all out alongside our, families as they grow and wanting to figure out how to maintain that balance and also how to just really, really scale and grow our businesses in heart and soul centered ways that are fulfilling and just feel good. Like I can think of so many jobs I've done in the past that I did because, money, and, paying bills and all that kind of stuff, but they didn't necessarily feel good to do. And as I've grown, both in age and hopefully in wisdom, I've really learned that there's no reason in this time in our lives with everything that's available to us and with technology, just everything that's in this day and age, that we should even entertain the idea of doing something that we don't wholeheartedly enjoy, or at least carving out some time in our day while we're continuing to do work that might not be that, and start creating that thing that we're really going to like, because it's so doable these days. But as any of you know that follow me, I am an EFT practitioner. I'm an energy coach. I work a lot with people in the realm of fitness and nutrition and just whole body, mind, and soul care. And trying to whittle down that niche and figure out exactly who I want to serve and how I want to serve them has always been something that I kind of get a little bit stuck on. And I think that, anyone in this space of trying to create your own business, unless you have something super specific from the start, will find yourself kind of revisiting that over and over again. And I used to kind of feel like it was a failure that I would find or select a group that I thought was who I wanted to work with. And then a year later, it will have changed, or it would have changed. And I've only recently come to realize that that's simply the evolution of a business. And that, yes, at that time, 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, what I carved out was who I wanted to serve, and it was how I wanted to serve them. And that it's okay if now I've changed my mind about the people that I want to serve and work with, the people that I want to be able to have an impact on, and, also the people that I want to share my time with. Because when you're building a business, especially when that business includes, personal coaching and work one-on-one with people, and for myself as an empath, choosing who you want to occupy your space and time is really, really important. It's kind of like, you get your time to spend with your family and you want to have all this time to spend with your family because you love them and you want to have all that time. When you're working, you want to have that feeling of having people that you enjoy and value to spend that time with also. That shouldn't be throwaway time. So I'm just saying, if you're feeling like things are growing with your business and you need to change things or tweak things, not to feel like that is any kind of setback or failure. So I had the opportunity recently to have a awesome and very long and um, it was so the time that I got to spend with this mentor of mine was so much a blessing. And it was something where I thought, maybe we would just pop on for half an hour. And it was upwards of 2 hours that she just generously poured into helping me review where I'm headed with things. And what I realized is that I do this all the time for people that I'm coaching and helping to strategize their lives, their businesses, their goals. And so often I don't allow the same thing in return. And it almost felt, I must say, I almost canceled a couple of times and realized that I was self-sabotaging and didn't, because I really felt this calling to be present with this person and allow them to pour into me. But I also felt like, okay, well, undeserving. And that was stuff that I tapped on, EFT, it's good for everything. And I put myself in a place of being really willing to receive. And thank goodness that, we started off our time together with just kind of an attunement and some visualization. And I do that a lot when I work with people too. And I was so appreciative of having somebody do that for me. And to feel that other people out there could feel my energy and really tune into it and say exactly what I needed to hear. Because so often I hear that when I work with people and they're like, oh my gosh, it's like you're inside my head or my thoughts, and you can really feel that. And, I guess, I have a gift for being able to tune into people's frequencies and to just be very empathic and I guess kind of an oracle for being able to transmit things kind of through me and be able to put them into words for other people. And that's exactly what this friend and mentor of mine did for me. So, it started out just by feeling felt and understood and heard without having said anything yet. And then to really go over the aspects of what I want to bring into my business and my offerings in the coming year. And you know what the crazy thing is that, it's pretty much true that there's really nothing new under the sun. And there's really not new ideas or anything else. But the thing is, there are very original combinations of ideas that have existed forever. And I think every person in their business representation is a unique combination. So, I'll continue to just use myself as an example because that's the easiest for me to do. But I hope that you can kind of relate this to yourself. And, while I could say, there's a ton of EFT practitioners out there. There's only so many that are master certified. There's only so many that are very spiritual and empathic in their practices. There's only so many that also have the same, micro interests and things that I have. And then there's only one that's me, that has my life experiences, my client experiences, my outlook on things, my way of presenting how it's done, and my way of taking people through the journey and coaching them through removing energetic blockages and building up the things that they want more of in their life, and so on and so forth. So there's no single component of what I offer that is in and of itself unique, but the combination thereof, kind of just like, our DNA of who we are, the combination of what we have to offer in our businesses is unique. And I want to remind you of that because so often if we're doing business, maybe you're a network marketer or you're in direct sales and you work for a company that has, hundreds of thousands of people who are marketing or promoting the same products and similar transformations or ways that they've been positively affected by those things. And you start to feel like, well, why me? And I just want to remind you that you have something special to bring to the table that only you can. And that is exactly what your audience needs to hear every single day. And that, you're not a drowned out voice. You have a very specific message and gift to offer people. And that's really what, you want to work on and have fine-tuned, and also to work on your confidence in, because so often we can just start thinking, oh, well, everybody knows this. It happens often. Again, I'm just going to continue to use myself as an example. Once we learn something, we kind of automatically assume that other people know the thing that we learn. I am still totally amazed anytime that I talk to somebody who has no idea who Tony Robbins is, because for me, that's just common knowledge. And there's tons of people out there that have no idea who he is. But I have all sorts of information and training and education inside myself, not just from Tony Robbins, but from hundreds of other mentors and authors and things that I've absorbed over the years. And just because I've come across them definitely does not mean that other people have. And then that contributes to the bank of knowledge that I have to, give back to people that I work with. And the same goes for you. Nobody's read the exact combination of books that you've read or taken the exact combination of trainings, or even if they did, in that weird circumstance that maybe that has happened somewhere along the line, their perspective about them, their opinions about them, the way they process them is totally different. So, it's just a matter of understanding and appreciating our uniqueness, and also being able to look at things again through a new lens. Part of what I did when I was talking to this mentor this past week was kind of looked at the way that I offer what I offer to my clients and my audience. And you know what? We revisited some things that I had thought about at the beginning and even forgotten that I thought about at the beginning in new ways. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's exactly where I need to be going with my business. And I had discounted it because I discounted it, a year or so ago. And I was like, okay, so that idea has already been visited. So I wasn't really allowing it into my brain without her bringing it up and being like, well, have you thought about doing things this way? It's like, well, I have thought about it, but it didn't make sense at the time, but it makes total sense now. So just that perspective and having somebody else to bounce things off of can be so helpful. I encourage you, if you are trying to grow a business, if you are trying to scale, if you are trying to level up, you need mentors. You need people that are at a place that is beyond where you are now, people that have done things that you haven't done yet, and they need to be part of your circle. The same way that people who haven't done what you've done yet need you. And without that, it is very hard to kind of get past those, as this particular mentor and I were talking, she kept saying growth edges. And I was like, I love that term. And, basically it just means those places where you've been challenged to grow further, or the places where you want to grow further, but you've kind of hit an edge, you've hit a wall. And those are the places that you need to be mindful of so that you can expand them and get further success in those challenging areas. And without mentorship or people that have kind of been there and done that and have something to offer you there, it's a lot more challenging. I'm not saying it can't be done, but everything is easier when we look to people that have done it already and use their successes or even their failures as ways to springboard our own success. So, I highly recommend that, get yourself a good circle of people that are at or above where you want to be, to really, really run with and to humbly seek guidance from, because there's so much out there that we all have to offer each other when we're willing to open our eyes, open our hearts, and really look at ourselves through a different lens than we're used to seeing. And, having that talk with that mentor of mine, and also joining a new mastermind recently to work on the actual, the nitty gritty stuff about business has been really helpful for me. And I recommend always being part of some kind of a mastermind, because while a lot of times I know in the beginning of my business, I felt like, oh, I don't have time. I have too much to learn. I have too much to do, blah, 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 blah. The really thoughtful stuff and the things that I have found to have the deepest impact on my business have come from those times that, I think, gosh, I'm getting ready to go into this mastermind, and it's going to be the next hour, the next 90 minutes, the next 2 hours sometimes. And I don't even know what's going to come of it. And sometimes that, especially when you're in a really busy season, feels like an indulgence that you don't have time for. And, you kind of start thinking, what am I really going to get out of this for my business? And you don't want to think selfishly about it, because you know that you also have things to give to others that are going to be there. But you start thinking, God, well, do I have the time for this? Can I do this? And it's really self-sabotage in action, because we learn and we gain things through helping other people. And we never know when gifts are going to be coming to us. So for me, I've just kind of made it a non-negotiable to spend time in mastermind environments each month, even when it feels like, oh gosh, well, I'm going to maybe miss dinner with my family tonight to do this, or it's Saturday morning and, I could be doing something else, and who knows what this is going to bring. But some of the greatest gifts have come out of that. And I mean, just having that attitude in general, honestly, of, just showing up to whatever you're doing, whether it's for your business or personal, and just being there to both give and receive what's happening in that moment, will open you up to so many new possibilities and perspectives with things in your entire realm of your life, not just your business. So sometimes it's just a matter of the thoughts and the things that you're allowing to go through your brain when it comes to that kind of growth, and just starting to tell yourself, hey, anytime that I'm spending open-minded and in a place of wanting growth and, and being soul-centered and heart-centered about that, and also being ambitious about that, is time well spent. Even if I have no idea what the outcome is going to be. Sometimes you're going to a training or you're going into a meeting and the outcome that you're looking for, or what you're going to learn or gain. And masterminds often aren't that specific. So, but you could gain so much more than you ever imagined. And that's the beauty of it. So yeah, that's my message today. I encourage you to seek out, some help to get clarity, get perspective that isn't yours, that isn't your best friends. When it comes to business, our family, our friends, they can be so supportive. I know a lot of people also, they can be not supportive, but even when they're being supportive, sometimes it's not the support that we need to grow. It's comfortable and it feels great to have anyone's support, of course, but to really, really grow, we need somebody that's willing to kind of shine a light in the places that, we might not be either willing to look normally, or that we wouldn't have even thought to shine the light. And that's when we can really, really make some amazing breakthroughs. If I can help you with that at all, please reach out. It's one of my favorite ways to work with people. And, just seek out somebody that is in alignment with kind of the vibe that you want to have and bring to your business, and get their advice. Ask them some questions, see how they can help you, and get those breakthroughs that you need to stay energized and inspired in your offerings. And that's going to make such a difference in your frequency and your personal vibe that you're putting out there. And we all know that all those things make a huge difference in what comes back to us and the business that we're able to grow and create. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.
Thanks so much for listening. If you loved this episode, please share it with a friend or post on social media and tag me so I can personally connect and thank you. Until next time, Keep taking bold and brave action steps towards becoming more of who you want to be in this world. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are enough. Keep shining your light.